What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What is happening? Man, I guess Winter decided, hell no, I'm not gonna go. I guess Winter said, the hell with that, I ain't going nowhere. Okay. How's it going, y'all? The 23rd of March. Okay. Technically, it's spring. All right. It is technically spring in the year 2026. That's crazy. That is crazy. We've gotten to spring of the year 2026. Um, that's wild. What's up, Charles? How's it going? Oh, hey, what's going on there, James? What's happening? I was just sitting there thinking about the fact that it is it's spring, and as you would have it in this part of the country, I don't know about anywhere else, but winter likes to hold on like like the hell with y'all. I don't want you all to start enjoying life. I want you to be freezing your ass off. Man, Saturday, Friday, nice weather. Sunday, Monday, cold as shit. Crazy. How you brothers doing today? How's everybody doing today? Um, I'm doing pretty good too. Went and had a checkup with the doctor today, and everything looks really good. I actually lost some weight. I didn't even know that. I actually lost some weight. Feeling good about that. So far, so good, my brother. I understand that. I understand that, James. So far, so good. Um, I tell you what, I was trying to avoid. I kind of wanted to get into some other stuff today, but as you would have it today, um, this guy, and we know who it is. But before I even get into that, doggone it, we'll get the good weather soon. Hey, you know what? I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm chomping at the bit, man. I'm chomping at the bit. I need to get out in it. I need this good weather, man. I need it bad. I need that sunshine. I went out there today. The sun was shining, but just didn't feel good. I'm chomping at the bit. I got so much stuff I want to do outside. Got some got a lot of stuff I want to do outside, you know. You know how it go. Oh, by the way, fellas, fellas. I know how much we all love to see uh, uh, twerking. You know, a lot of us love to see twerking and don't want nobody to know we like to see twerking. Okay, but there's some girls out there that do not need to be twerking. Let's just get that out of the way right now. I like to see some good twerking just as much as the next guy. But some of them chicks don't need to be twerking. Check it out. just some folks just don't need to twerk. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for the child. You know, she meant well. She meant well. Oh, that tickles the hell out of me, boy. Poor thing. She wanted to shake what her mama gave her. Mama just didn't give her much of shit. Oh boy. And what would a day like? What would a day be like, without some humor in it? Gotta have some humor with what's going on today. Um oh, and by the way, got a word from James Carville. James Carville has admitted to having Trump deranged syndrome. And I think a lot of us had Trump deranged syndrome. Check it out.
Trump, if you listen to this, you listen good, because what I'm getting ready to say is what a lot of people in this country speak for, who I speak for. And I speak for a lot of fucking people. You hear me, you fat asshole? This is what we believe. You're right. I got Trump derangement syndrome. I hate the motherfucker. And you know what? I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. I want to hate him more. I pray to God in heaven, God reign the righteous reign of Trump derangement syndrome. Pray for me, Lord. I'm your vessel on this earth. Pray for the people that listen to this. We want more. We want to hate the son of a bitch so much that we can't see straight.
uh yeah. I think he speaks for me. Yeah. I think he speaks for me. Yeah. Uh-huh. He can speak for me. you know, it's funny stuff. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. I tell you what. These people kill me. The internet is something else. The internet is something else. I tell you what, I love it. I love it all day, every day. All day, every day. And just for shit and giggles. Just for shits and giggles. Um, a lot of people ask me what I used to do for a living, and and when I explain it to them, it it kind of people say, "Dang, it ain't that bad, is it?" It's like, and I explain it to them, and see, I used to be an industrial electrician, and a lot of people don't understand the difference between your run of the mill electrician and an industrial electrician. Okay. So I thought I run across this little clip and I thought it would be good to show people what I used to do. Now, when you look at this clip, I'm the guy in the gray suit. Okay. Just remember that. When you look at this clip, I am the guy in the gray suit. Okay? If that gives you any indication of how dangerous my job used to be. Boy, I tell you what, I remember them sounds like it was yesterday. That was the sound of 10,000 volts about to be fired up, about to be woken up and start their day. Man, shiver me timbers. Okay, so having said that, um, is all of you guys, is there anything you guys want to discuss before I get into this crazy shit I am going to be talking about today? Is it anything in particular that is on you all's mind um, before I, get into it? Because, you know, I just want to get that out there ahead of time before I get to running my mouth, just in case it was something on you all mind. Because I know the way shit going today, it is kind of crazy. And there could be a lot of things going on that I don't know about. Lots of things that I don't know about. So, give me a moment here. Do your thing. Do your thing. You must want to go back to that milk. Well, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. That milk. Let's see. We'll go back to the milk. I don't know what milk you're referring to. Um, uh, um, Trying to think. I don't know what milk you're referring to. Maybe that's a secret joke between us. Nah. What I was going to get into is why we in this war in the first place that we in. We find ourselves in a real precarious situation with this war that's going on. Oh, wait a minute. Before I go any further, I did promise last week I was going to show that other kind of radio. Here, let me do this right now. Here we have it. This is the other kind of emergency radio I was talking about. Now, they don't all have to be this style. There's a couple of different styles, shapes and styles. This just happens to be the one that I have. This radio gets AM, FM, and the weather band. And you will most likely get most of your emergency stuff on the weather band right here. It's where you change them right up in here. Uh, this radio has different ways of getting power. The reason I got this one is A, it has a solar panel. It can get power from the solar panel. And it also has a battery compartment to put batteries in. And it has an internal battery that you can charge up. And it also has a crank that allows you to crank it. So you can crank this thing up if you don't have batteries, and if it's dark in the house, it has a flashlight Uh, and when you turn the flashlight on, it's got a thing where you can hit SOS with the flashlight. It has a little siren sound that it makes, and it has a way to charge your batteries or your telephone. You know, if you got a cell phone or something else that you want to charge up, you can do that, or charge this up over here. So this is the other radio I was talking about when I was talking about emergency radios. Got the little antenna on top that, pull out. This radio right here, inexpensive. It don't cost a lot. This is an emergency radio that you can crank. Again, this one has a solar panel. If you're outside, you can charge it up. Nice little radio. They're inexpensive, and you need to have one of those for all sorts of emergencies. Weather emergencies, hurricanes and shit, fires, whatever may be happening in your areas. Like if if a pipe bursts in the ground, you'll probably get the news over a radio. So that go out and get you one of those. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. Just needed to get that out there because I did say I would show the other style of emergency radio. And they got smaller ones, much smaller than that. Crank it up, to get your power. Good to go. Okay. That's that public service announcement. All right. All right. Now, back to this war. And no, Charles, I am not anxious to get back to them steel mills. Yeah. No. No, thank you. I pass on that. Absolutely pass. But let's talk about this war for a second and some of the reasons that we're in this war. First of all, we got a guy that that's in front of the mic every day. And this, before we get to what he actually said today, we're going to talk about a couple of things he said over the last days that leads us up to, that really leads us up to why we actually in this shit to begin with. This guy has the ability to lie. I'm going to play a clip. And, I've been talking about how he lies on the fly. But not only does he lie on the fly, and we're talking about the guy that's running this administration. I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about. Not only does he lie on the fly, but he will tell two absolutely opposing lies. It's like saying up is down and down is up, but saying them in the same breath, in the same sentence. I've never seen a person that can tell two opposite lies, tell a lie, and tell the exact opposite of the same lie in the same breath. I don't know what you would call that. Let's have a listen to an opinion on this.
The situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this, At the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us.
Because of what Steve and Jared and Pete... Well, let's run through that. A property developer, his own son-in-law, a failed Fox News host, and Marco Rubio, who told us on day one that Trump did it precisely because he couldn't stop Netanyahu from doing it, and they wanted to get their retaliation in before the Iranians retaliated. Those are your four men who Donald Trump is now charging with informing his decision to undertake this war. The Omani foreign minister thinks he's just dancing to Benjamin Netanyahu's tune, and so does the former counter-terrorism chief who Donald Trump appointed and then subsequently stated that he didn't think he was very strong on security. Because who here wouldn't appoint a bloke in charge of counter-terrorism while simultaneously believing that they're not very good at security? Seriously. 3 weeks in and we're still asking this question. Why do you think Donald Trump did it? And the problem with a vacuum, and my God, you never get a more profound vacuum than when the people in charge are saying one thing and its polar opposite in the same breath. The United States knew nothing about this particular attack, said Donald Trump. I knew about this particular attack, said Donald Trump. You want to take a punt on which one is a lie and which one is the truth? Because it doesn't...
I'm opening the Strait of Hormuz is a simple military maneuver.
Very simple.
Yeah, but what did you mean by that?
It's a simple military maneuver. It's relatively safe, but you need a lot of help in the sense of you need ships, you need volume. And NATO could help us, but they so far haven't had the courage to do so. And others could help us, but, you know, we don't use it. You know, at a certain point, it'll open itself at a certain point. But we've defeated the enemy, and they are an enemy. They're a sick group of people. The leadership is gone, the Navy is gone, the Air Force is gone, the anti-aircraft equipment that they have, the radar they have is all gone, everything's gone. The strait itself, the actual strait, how are you?
Hi.
The strait itself is, we're doing a good job, but it would be nice if the countries, including China, if the countries that use it, China uses it 90% of their energy, Japan is 95% of the energy. It would be nice if those countries would get involved.
Okay, let's look at that. It's a simple operation to open the strait. It's simple. But you need a lot of ships. I'm sorry. Excuse me. 1 second. Hey, Jeff, I don't see a picture. Is anybody else having a problem seeing a picture? Is anybody else having a problem seeing a picture? Sometimes when that happens, you may have to reload your, if everyone is gone, who's killing the soldiers? Yeah, hey, you know what? That's a good question. And that's the point I'm trying to make. If it's easy and it's simple, why do you need a lot of ships? Why you need a lot of help from everybody? You see what I'm saying? How you could tell a lie and then the opposite of that lie in the same breath. It's a very simple operation. Very simple. No problem. I need a lot of ships and a lot of help. If it's simple, why do you need a lot of ships and a lot of help? If everything's gone, all of the weapons, all of the radar, all of the things, if everything's gone, why do you need China and Japan? Why do you need China and Japan? China is not our ally. China's not our ally. China's not going to get in to help us. Now, and that's that's one of the problems that I was always taught about lying. When you lie like that, you know, you can't keep track of the lie. That's what the man is simple, and American people had to believe it's simple. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. That's well, not the American people, the Trump supporters. Okay, not the American people, the Trump supporters. Okay. Okay. Glad you could see us, Ronnie. I appreciate. I'm glad. I'm glad. Good. Good. Um, the Trump supporters need to believe that, and they're dropping off by the boatload. Okay, the Trump supporters are dropping off by the boatload. They're getting down to just the real stupid ones now. They're getting down to the. See, there's a core group of Trump supporters. And that real core group that don't do any thinking at all, that group right there, that's the idiot. Okay. You got the people out there that's real idiots. Okay. Let's just be clear about this. Some of them are just plain idiots. Then there are those that are just plain racist. Now, idiots can be racist, so they may be doing a dual thing. Okay. And then there are those that are part of the fellowship. Understand something. When you believe in something so dearly to you, it becomes a kinship. You become kin with others in that group. And you don't want to turn that kinship loose. You don't want to turn that away. You want to keep that brotherhood. And a lot of this is about keeping that brotherhood, Special ed folks that were integrated in the common class. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of times they slip through the cracks. A lot of times they slip through the cracks. But that's the core. That's that core right there that's going to believe when a man says it's simple. It's really simple. It's no problem. Won't take nothing. It's going to fix itself. As a matter of fact, in a little while, it'll be okay. It'll open it by itself. And in the same breath say, we need a lot of ships and we need China and Japan to kick in. We need a lot of ships. With the same breath. That's only the core. Only that group of idiots, racists, fellowship. That fellowship component, understand, that fellowship component knows he's hearing bullshit. But he will twist himself into a knot in order to hold on to the fellowship, because this is like family now. I'm part of a family, and I don't fit in anywhere else. I fit in with this idiot and this racist. Now, I don't view myself as an idiot or a racist, but I do like the friends I've met, and we find something in common in this guy. Now, this guy, they all understand that, this guy, if they were on fire, he wouldn't piss on them to put them out. But somehow they've identified with this guy. And, it's the zombie brand. The zombie brand. Yeah, I like it. The zombie brand. So, that's what's going on with that. Here, I'm going to play this other clip. Matter of fact, I'm going to play one more clip here. Let me see here. Let me See if I can cue this up right quick. Let me see if I can cue this one up here. This is him speaking about when when Iran, one big stupid cult. Yeah, that's what it is, a cult. Absolutely. That's what it is. This is him speaking after Iran started firing missiles at Qatar and Kuwait and the other Bahrain, the other countries. Listen to what he says about that. Just now, these are people who started a war. Okay, now they're finally calling it a war. They were trying their best not to call it a war, but they're finally calling it a war now. Now listen to him explain the fact that they didn't realize Iran would shoot at the other countries. Check it out.
Look what happened in the last 2 weeks. They weren't supposed to go after all these other countries in the Middle East. Those missiles were set to go after them. So they hit Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait. Nobody expected that. Remember, they have all of those missiles. And I heard they were sending missiles to UAE. I said, that's strange. You know, UAE is like the banker for Iran. They're like the banker. Qatar, their neighbors, they got along okay. Saudi Arabia. All of a sudden, Kuwait is getting hit. Bahrain is getting, all these countries are getting hit. There was no expert that would say that was going to happen. It's not a question of like, gee, should you have known? And if we did know, big deal. I mean, we have to do what we have to do.
He says there was no expert that would have said that was going to happen. There was nobody that knew that Iran would start firing missiles at those other countries. Ladies and gentlemen, let me inform you that before that ever happened, I had a conversation with folks prior to that ever happening. And the first thing I said was, if I were running the military in Iran and they launched all of that firepower on me, Israel and America just started unleashing firepower on me, I would fire on every country in my area. I literally said that before any of that happened. If I was running the military in Iran, I would fire on every one of those countries. It only makes sense. Okay, why? Why would you fire on all the other countries? Why would you do that? Well, the first reason I would do it is so that all of these other countries can look at Israel and America and say, you see what you did? You see what you've done? This is your fault. That's the first reason. The first reason is, once I start firing, because, hey, Israel and America is trying to annihilate me. I'm not the last one going down. I'm not going down by myself. I'm not going down without a fight. If I go down, every motherfucking body going down. Why wouldn't I fire on everybody? Everybody in the area that's just standing there like this watching. Oh, y'all gonna stand there on the sideline and watch Israel and America destroy my country, huh? That's what y'all gonna do? Dubai, the UAE, the Emirates, y'all just gonna sit up there in them lavish ass ivory towers and watch America bomb the shit out of my country? I'll be damned if that's so. You ain't gonna sit there in your nice sparkling white knickers, goddammit, while I get my ass chewed on. Ain't happening. That's reason number one. And that's enough. That reason alone is enough. But guess what? There's more. There's more. Wait, there's more. They all want the mullahs to go away. They all want the mullahs to go. That could be it too. They all want the mullahs to go away. That could be it too. But again, there's more. Let's see another reason why Iran would fire on Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain. Oh! America has military bases in every one of those countries. As far as I'm concerned, I'm Iran, and I'm surrounded by American military bases. And all of these other countries have signed on, to be surrogates of America. Of course, I'm going to try and eliminate these other surrogate bases that are completely around me. And wait, there's more. If I destabilize the economy in this area, if I fire my missiles and I destabilize the economy in Dubai, do you know how much money is being lost by the airport not operating in Dubai? If the only way that you would not understand that is if you've been under a rock the last few years. Because that's where everybody and their mothers, brothers, and cousins want to go. They want to go to Dubai and look at this beautiful city that costs $1 million for you to stay there for 1 second, or that they built out there in the sand and in the Dead Sea. And everybody wants to go there and shop at these expensive places, yada, yada, yada. If I destroy that economy, Saudi Arabia, if I hit Saudi oil infrastructure, hey, guess what? Not only that, all of the countries in that area, they all have desalination plants. A desalination plant is a facility that takes seawater and turns it into fresh water. None of these places have fresh water sources. Like the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes, those are all fresh water sources. None of these countries have fresh water sources. You think the airlines like to stop there for cheap fuel? Oh, you know that. you know that. I mean, of course they're getting cheap fuel there. Absolutely. the airline, the Qatar Airlines, the Emirates Airlines, all of those airlines are based out of there, you know. You know, they got all of those desalination plants, and if Iran starts to hit them within 2 weeks, that entire area will be out of fresh water. There'll be no water. And they want to be in those porta potty parties. Okay, man, let's not bring that. Let's not bring the porta potty parties into this. And if you don't know what a porta potty party is, I'm not going to be the one to tell you, okay? Look it up. Yeah, the evil that men do. Anyway. So, hey, hey, check this out. On the serious tip, that porta potty party, man, say that fast 3 times. Porta potty party is part of the economy. It is part of the economy in that area, okay? A lot of money in those parties, okay? So, hey. So, if I'm Iran, I want to ruin the economy in this area. And guess what? When I do it, when all the smoke clears, guess who's going to catch the fallout? America and Israel. If I can ruin everything going on over here or bring these economies to a screeching halt, if I can shut the Straits of Hormuz off, even after being bombed day and night by the mighty America and Israel, which that doesn't even sound right. America and Israel attacking another country that has not attacked them. And Israel, they so stupid. Israel is so stupid and such a warmongering group of people that they literally decided, okay, let's start a fight with Hamas in Lebanon too. And Hezbollah in Lebanon. Really? You're going to fight on 2 fronts. That's really stupid. You're going to fight on 2 fronts. You got that many weapons that you can waste weapons fighting 2 fronts. Now, Israel, as we've seen in Gaza, Israel is really good at destroying other people's property. You've seen the destruction that's going on in Lebanon. And they targeted the main city. They blowing entire apartment building structures to the ground. They're razing them to the ground. That's an interesting term, isn't it? Razing. I wonder why they call it razing when you've taken a building down. But that's another story. They literally razing them to the ground. Israel is really good at destroying other people's property. But as it turns out, they ain't as perfect as they thought they were. Iran is putting up quite a fight to be a country that doesn't have anything anymore. And after all this is said and done, we had to come full circle and ask the question again, why are they doing this? Why is this happening? Well, as it turns out, it always goes back to the money. It always goes back to the money. It's just like today. Just today. Donald Trump got up this morning before the stock market opened and announced that they're in deep conversations with Iran about bringing this whole thing to an end. Now, just last weekend, Friday, I believe, Thursday or Friday, he announced an ultimatum. If they did not open the straits by Tuesday, he's going to bomb every energy facility in the country. He's going to destroy every energy facility. Got a deadline. Tuesday's the deadline. Now, lo and behold, Monday morning, before the stock market opens, he announces, we got a breakthrough in talks. We talking good, and I'm going to postpone destroying all of their energy infrastructure. I'm going to wait 5 days. Now, this announcement before the stock market opened now. It's all about the money. That's all. And guess what? If you've been on the phone with him before the stock market opened, guess who can make fast money? Guess who can make really fast money? All of them that's been on the phone and in the conference calls and meetings before the stock market opened. Okay? It's all about the money. Now, Iran immediately put out a press release. We haven't been in any talks about ending this war. We haven't been in any talks about opening the straits. We don't know what he's talking about. But this man understands that the shit he says can move the stock market. He knows that the stock market is waiting to hear what he has to say. And him and his buddies, especially that Commerce Secretary. That jack off. Man. They making money at every fucking turn. Every fucking turn. They making money. And if you in the know, all you got to do is get the phone call before the stock market opens. Hey, he's going to say this. As soon as he says it, bam, you making money. Now, how can we cement that? I'm going to make this point. How can we cement that as the reason this is going on? How can we put a big check mark that this is all about money? It's all about money. Check out what Netanyahu said at a speech at the end of the week. Check out what Netanyahu said at the end of one of his speeches.
Netanyahu just said something I found very interesting in his latest press briefing, particularly as it pertains to oil.
I think that what has to be done is to have alternative routes. Instead of going through the choke points of the Hormuz Straits and the Bab el-Mandeb Straits, in order to have the flow of oil, just have oil pipelines going west through the Arabian Peninsula, right up to Israel, right up to our Mediterranean ports, and you've just done away with the choke points for forever. That is definitely possible. So I see that as a real change that will follow this war.
He talked about rearranging the economic relationships, the economic geography and oil flows of the Middle East. Instead of oil all flowing through the Strait of Hormuz, as it does now, he said, well, maybe there's a different way in which oil flows through pipelines that ultimately go to Israel. That would have enormous impacts, and it would change in many ways how not only oil markets work, but how power is balanced in the region.
Now, if that doesn't put a check mark on the whole issue, he's talking about redirecting the flow of oil out of that region through Israel. Redirecting the flow of oil through pipelines through the Arabian Peninsula straight into Israel to the ports, to Israel's ports on the Mediterranean. If that doesn't tell the whole story, if that doesn't sum it up for you, that this is what they envisioned in the first place. Okay? A, remember Trump and him talking about making this beautiful city out of Gaza? They're going to turn around and rebuild Gaza into Trump land. Okay? Remember, that is really an idea that they have. That's not some joke that they came up with. Okay? That's a real plan. And redirecting the oil to where it flows through Israel. Everything seems to be turning into what's good for Israel. Everything seems to be pointing at, let's get Israel into the act. Let's do some good stuff for Israel. Let's make Israel the center of attention. You know, I tell you what, over the last decade or so, I would not have believed this. I've been one hell of an advocate for Israel. Because, you know, for what happened during the Holocaust and all of that, during World War II, I literally, I kind of felt like no people should be treated a certain way. That's just the way I felt. Yeah, and then you start doing digging and you start doing research and you start uncovering rocks, digging under rocks, and you find out that them people ain't the nicest people that you thought they were. Them people that you defending ain't really the really the defensible kind of people that you thought they were. Now, you hear a lot about anti-Semitism floating around out there in the world. You hear a lot about anti-Semitism. And it's gotten really to the point where, if you're not saying that you just love Israel and Israel is the most wonderful thing in the world, then you must be an anti-Semite. To say anything else, you're an anti-Semite. A lot of people don't even know what anti-Semite means. Look it up. It has nothing to do with saying something against Israel. But as it turns out, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. And it's always all about the money. That just seems to be the way of life, huh? It's all about the money. Follow the money and you'll find the crooks. Any comments? I gotta ask, any comments? That seems to be the way this is going. It's all about cashing in, taking over, and cashing in. Can't wait to see what else is in store. Don't really want to advocate for anybody to get hurt. I do wish this war would come to a conclusion without us putting boots on the ground. But it seems like that is going to happen. And it seems like it's going to be just for money. We've already gotten loads of people killed and well, in the teens killed and hundreds hurt. And it's all about money. I hope some of those supporters wake up and figure that out. On that note, I'm going to end it here. If you have something that you think I should see, let me know. You would like to get my hands on some of that money. Yeah. Hey, you and me both, man. You and me both. I'd like to get my hands on some of it too. I think for the near future, we're gonna have to worry about being able to get us a gallon of gas. Or most people anyway. We're gonna have to worry about getting a gallon of gas and a bite to eat, because for the rest of us is it's gonna be tightening up, because if this goes on much longer than it is right now, it's gonna be some tightening up. Now, fortunately, we know how to tighten up. Oh man, it's gonna be rough on those that don't. But on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. And before I go, speaking of tightening up, I caught an interesting video. It was all about catching squirrels and eating squirrels. Yeah, you heard that right. Catching, cooking, and eating squirrels. Pretty interesting video. I never thought about eating a squirrel before. I've been contemplating eating rabbits. Never thought about eating a squirrel. But hey, from what I've seen, they can be tasty too. Food for thought. On that note, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all Wednesday. Take it easy.